Hi everyone, Mrs. Bezick here. Today I'm going to show you how to make a recipe that we make in Global Foods. We're going to make baked beans. Now we like to make this recipe when we start talking about American cuisine. There's various regions of the United States and we always start with the New England region. So let's get started. I'm going to move you down and here is our mise en place. Mise en place means everything in its place. So I have everything prepped, measured, ready to go for our recipe. So I'm just going to go through the ingredients with you. The recipe will also be linked below. We have 1 pound of cooked bacon crumbled up. Now, if you've never made bacon before, check out my video on how to pan-sear bacon. We've got 48 ounces of beans. These are pork and beans. I like to use the Campbell's brand, but you can use whatever you'd like. We have 1 cup of brown sugar. We have 2 tablespoons of vinegar, just white distilled vinegar. We have 1 teaspoon of prepared mustard. And when I say prepared mustard, it is just the mustard out of your fridge. The recipe calls for 4 tablespoons of minced onion. Mr. Bezick doesn't like onions. So I did the conversion to onion powder. So you still get that onion flavor, but not necessarily the texture that some people may not like, Mr. Bezick. So we've got 1 teaspoon of onion powder. We have 1 tablespoon of molasses. And our last ingredient is 5 tablespoons of barbecue sauce. I like the hickory flavor. So here are all of our ingredients. We're going to go ahead and get started. It's a very simple recipe. So all you do for this recipe is mix everything together. So I like to start with my beans, and I've chosen a rubber spatula to use that kind of looks like a spoon as well, because I want to wash the least amount of dishes possible. So that's why I'm choosing this guy. Now, when we go to put our ingredients in, that almost didn't make it in the bowl. I'm glad it did. I like to chop up the brown sugar as I add it in. So you can see now it's not as packed in. Our vinegar, our onion powder. Now, when you do the onion powder, you can go like this, or you can sprinkle it with your fingers, but you just want to make sure that you don't, got a little extra there. You don't want to leave any behind, and you don't want to plop it all in one spot. Then we're going to scrape some of these last ingredients, the mustard. That's why I'm using the rubber spatula. It is a small amount in a big bowl. So I want to scrape it to get all of it out. Now the molasses is really sticky. And what I did beforehand was I sprayed this mixing bowl, the small little custard cup. I sprayed it with just a little bit of cooking spray, and that helps so that it doesn't stick as much. And our last thing of the liquids is our barbecue sauce. And to top it all off, the ingredient everyone loves the most is our bacon. So we've got it all in here. All we're going to do is stir it together. Now, I said that this recipe is from the New England region. It is thought to be originating with the Native Americans and what they would do when they made their baked beans. Now, obviously, it would be different times, different cooking utensils, different cooking methods. They would mix all of their ingredients together, and then they would put them in deerskin pots and hang them over a fire to cook it. Now, we're not doing that because we are in 2020. We are going to use a casserole dish. If you have a Dutch oven, that works a little bit better because it's thicker and it holds the heat a little bit better. I don't have one, so I'm just grabbing the next best thing. Make sure that when you're cooking, You don't have to have everything perfect according to the recipe. You can change it up a little. So if you don't have something like a Dutch oven, just use the next best thing. Just make sure that it's about the same size. So I made sure that this was big enough to put inside of here. So if you want, you can spray it or you can just put it right in. I never spray it. I don't like to use cooking spray that much. Now, I know I did spray it earlier, but I actually used avocado spray instead of regular cooking spray. That's my spray choice. Okay, so I think that we have all that yummy goodness in our casserole dish. Set that bowl to the side, and we are going to put this in the oven at 325. We're going to put the lid on it and bake it for a couple hours. We'll be back and see what it looks like.
After an hour and a half of baking in the oven and 10 minutes cooling, it's time to taste test these homemade baked beans. Delicious.